with all that it entails, the family complications, the unpleasant memories, and I've seen enough violence already, don't you think? I don't know, have you? You tell me so little about your past, even now. I'm not cut out for the FBI. I don't like rules. In any case, you're all over the world with that Doctors with Wings outfit. We can live anywhere as long as it's close to an international airport. Our two souls therefore endure not a breach, but an expansion, like gold to airy thinness beat. Don't bring me to Africa and quote John Donne. Kipling, maybe. Every woman knows all about everything, he intoned. On second thought, spare me the Kipling as well. What did you do as a teenager, memorize Bartlett's? Among other things. Pendergast glanced up. A figure was approaching along the trail from the west. He was a tall Nyimba tribesman, dressed in shorts and a dirty t-shirt, an ancient rifle slung over his shoulders, carrying a forked walking stick. As he approached the camp, he paused and cried out a greeting in Bemba, the local lingua franca, which was answered by welcoming shouts from the kitchen tent. He then proceeded into camp and approached the table at which the Pendergasts were seated. Both rose. Uma ntu umo, uma suma aafika, Pendergast said by way of greeting, and grasped the man's dusty, warm hand, Zambian fashion. The man proffered his walking stick to Pendergast. There was a note wedged into its fork. For me? Pendergast asked, switching to English. From the district commissioner. Pendergast shot a glance at his wife, then removed the note and unfolded it. My dear Pendergast, I wish to have a conversation with you immediately via SSB. There has been a nasty business at Kingazu Camp. Very nasty. Alistair Woking, D.C., South Luanga. A P.S. Dear chap, you know perfectly well that regulations require you to have SSB communications set up at every bush camp. It is most annoying to have to send a runner like this. I don't like the sound of that, said Helen Pendergast, looking over her husband's shoulder. What do you think this nasty business is? Perhaps a phototourist has suffered the amorous advances of a rhinoceros? That's not funny, Helen said, laughing all the same. It is rutting season, you know. Pendergast folded the note and shoved it in his breast pocket. I'm very much afraid this means our shooting safari is over. He walked over to the tent, opened a box, and began screwing together the battered pieces of an aerial antenna, which he then carried up into a musasa tree and wired to an upper branch. Climbing back down, he plugged the wire into the single sideband radio he had placed on the table, turned on the unit, adjusted the dials to the correct frequency, and sent out a call. In a moment, the irritated voice of the district commissioner came back squawking and scratchy. Pendergast, for God's sake, where are you? Upper Makwale Stream Camp. Blast! I was hoping you were nearer the Banta Road. Why the devil don't you keep your SSB connected? I've been trying to reach you for hours. May I ask what's happened? Over at Kingazu Camp, a German tourist was killed by a lion. What idiot allowed that to happen? It wasn't like that. The lion came right into camp in broad daylight, jumped the man as he was walking back to his hut from the dining tent, and dragged him screaming into the bush. And then? Surely you can imagine and then. The wife was hysterical, the whole camp went into an uproar. They had to bring in a helicopter to airlift out the tourists. The camp staff left behind are scared shitless. This fellow was a well-known photographer in Germany, bloody bad for business. Did you track the lion? We have trackers and guns, but nobody who'll go into the bush after this lion. Nobody with the experience or the bollocks. That's why we need you, Pendergast. We need you down here to track that bugger and, well, recover the remains of the poor German before there's nothing left to bury. You haven't even recovered the body? Nobody will go out there after the bloody thing. You know what Kingazu Camp is like. All the dense brush that's come up because of the elephant poaching.